Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about some of the area problems we were doing in class the other day. And this is in that section 4.3 of your textbook. And we're just going to look at these couple of problems. There are a couple of problems I just kind of took out of the book. And they were after do the examples of the area problems, and it was supposed to be the your turn. And we did not do these in class, so we're going to work on them in this video. And hopefully clear up questions that we have as far as these area problems. So for number 8, it says the area of a rectangular ratio is 12 3/8 square meters. The width of the patio is 2 3/4 meters. What is the length? So if you wanted to draw out a picture, you're more than welcome to. Okay, that's not very pretty, but it exists. And the width, it says, is 2 3/4 meters long. And then it says the area, I'm just going to say A equals 12 3/8. And if I'm wanting to find this length right here, so in order to find this, I've got to take my area, which is 12 3/8, and I've got to divide this by the width here, 2 3/4. So, and this pen is a little weird. I'm not sure I like it. Let me try this one. So 12 3/8 divided by 2 3/4. So the first thing I've got to do, I've got these mixed numbers and I'm trying to divide them. My first step, let me just label some steps over here to this side. My first step is to change from the mixed numbers to the improper fractions. So I'm just going to say change from mixed to improper. All right. And then what I'm going to want to do after that is I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. So my step 2 is multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so I've got 12 3/8, and the way I want to change that into a improper fraction is to say 8 times 12. And sometimes we write in these little times. 8 times 12 plus the 3. 8 times 12, let's think is going to be, well, we got 80, 96. 96 plus 3, 99 over 8. This is going to be divided by 4 times 2 gives you 8, plus 3 gives you 11. You're going to leave that bottom number. Okay. My next thing I'm going to do, like I said, I did my first step here. I'm going to do my second step next. I'm going to multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second one. So I'm going to leave my first fraction alone. I'm going to change my division to multiplication. And I am going to flip my second fraction, which is, remember we said that's the same thing as taking the reciprocal. I'm going to flip that 11/4 to be 4/11. Next, I'm going to see if I can cross cancel. So this is just, part of that multiplication process. Let me see if I can find a nice little color so that I don't get everything too messy looking. All right, so I know that 4 and 8, 4 can go into both of these. So I'm gonna cross cancel here by 4, and I'm gonna say 4 goes into 4 one time, and 4 is gonna go into 8 2 times. Here with my 11 and my 99, 11 goes into itself once, and it goes into 99 9 times. Okay, so this is where those knowing all your multiplication tables and stuff like that, that's gonna be helpful to you. So here, I'm gonna multiply using my new numbers. My 9 times my 1 just gives me 9. 2 times 1 gives me 2. I've got an improper fraction here. Since I'm trying to find my final answer, I'm going to go ahead and change this all over to my mixed number form. So I've got to think of 2 goes into 9. How many times? Well, 2 goes into 9. Let's see, 4 times. 4 times 2 gave you 8. Subtract here, get 1 left over. So you get 4 whole with 1 out of 2 left over. So 1/2. And that's what the length of our patio is going to be. Okay. All right, and we want to go through number 9 as well. Let me go ahead and write down what we got here. We said it was 4.5. You know, at any time while I'm making this video, if you need to pause it, to slow down, or to replay a section you weren't quite sure what I said, you know, do that. I'm going to erase what I've got here, and we're going to try number 9. It's going to be the same process. We're going to do the whole dividing the area, and this number 9, they give us, let's see, they give us the area, they give us the length, and they want us to find the width. Okay, in the previous problem, they gave us the width and said find the length. Here, they've given us the length and say find the width. Guys, the process is no different. It's going to be exactly the same. You're just going to take that area and divide it by that length, and it'll give you the width. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say 14 and 1/12. This is divided by 4 and 1/3. Okay. So in order to find my width that's left over, I've got to first go by my rules over here. I'm going to change my mixed numbers into improper fractions. So 14 times 12, and then I got to add the 1. 14 times 12, I don't know that off the top of my head. I'm going to just go ahead and multiply this out the old-fashioned way. 2 times 4 gives you 8. 2 times 1 gives you 2. Got to put a 0. 4 and 1. Now we add 8, 6, 1. All right. So we get 168 plus 1 is 169 over 12. We're going to divide this by 3 times 4 gives you 12 plus 1 is 13. Over 3. You don't change that denominator. So over 3. Let me get rid of my work right here so I have more room. All right, so now that I've got my mixed numbers changed into improper fractions, I'm going to multiply the first fraction by the reciprocal of the second. Now that's our process for division. Don't forget about that. You can think, switch, and flip in the back of your brain all day. I don't care. But what we say, if you're going to verbalize it to me, I need you to be able to say multiply by the reciprocal. So I'm going to leave my first fraction alone. Over 12. Multiply this by 3 over 13. All right, and let's see if we can cross cancel here. With the 3 and the 12, that's not too hard. 3 goes into 3 1 time. 3 goes into 12 4 times. We can do that pretty easily. Now the 13 and the 169, it may be a little harder. Let's see. We know that there are only 2 factors of 13. 13 is a prime number. So only numbers that would go into 13 are 1 and 13. So if we're trying to cross cancel, the only number that we could possibly use that would like clear up anything would be if we could divide both of these numbers by 13. So let's double check and see if that's a possibility here. I'm going to take 13 and divide it into 169 and see if it goes in there without having remainders, without having anything left over. So 13 is going to go into 16 one time. 1 times 13 gives you 13. Going to subtract here. I get 3. Bring down my 9. All right. Now think 13 goes into 39. Let's see, 13 plus 13 gives you 26. Then if you add another 13, that's going to give you 39. So 3 times. 3 times 13 gave you 39 when we worked through that. And you have 0 left over. So 13 actually goes into 169 13 times. So I'm going to cross this off. 13 is going to go into itself once. And 13 is going to go into 169 13 times. Okay. Again, just erasing my work so I have more room. It doesn't look as cluttered. And I have now cross-canceled. So I'm going to go on to actually multiplying this out now that I've got it all nice and pretty and ready to go. So 13 times the 1 is going to give me 13. 4 times 1 is going to give me 4. 4 goes into 13. Let's think it goes into 12 3 times. And we have 1 left over here. All right. So in this case, our width is going to be 3 1/4 square yards, or yards, not square yards, yards. So I'm going to write my answer up in here. All right. 3 1/4. And if we really want to be technical, we need to be putting in like the measurements, or what we are saying. We have 3 1/4 what? We don't know. So we need to put in yards. And up here when we had 4 1/2, we need to say meters. Okay, that's just a real technical thing. Okay. I got a couple more problems over here. I'm going to switch the page. These are a couple from the independent practice from that section. So let's look at this. It says the area of a rectangular picture frame is 30 1/3 square inches. The length of the frame is 6 1/2 inches. So find the width of the frame. Guys, it's the same process. We are going to take the area, which is the 30 1/3, and we're going to divide this 30 1/3 square inches by 6 1/2 inches. So 6 1/2. Okay, the steps are the same. First thing we want to do is change these numbers, these mixed numbers, into improper fractions. So 3 times 30 is going to give us 90, plus 1 is going to give you 91 over 3. This is going to be divided by 6 times 2 gives you 12, plus 1 gives you 13. And this is all over 2. Now we're going to switch, flip, or we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. Okay, so whatever you use to remember it. But like I said, I need you to be able to verbalize to me, we are multiplying by the reciprocal. So I'm going to say 91 over 3 multiplied by 2 over 13. Now, right here, we're going to want to see if there's a possible way to cross cancel at all. And I'm going to go ahead and save us some time and just tell you that 91 can be divided by 13. This is one of those things that you may want to work out on some scratch paper. Go over to the side and maybe work out, on a piece of scratch paper or in the margins or wherever, just, out away from all this problem, and be thinking, okay, well, let me think about 13. Okay, let's see if I multiplied it by, let's just try 5 and see what happens. 5 times 3 would have given me 15. 5 times 1 gives you 5, plus the 1 is 6. All right, that didn't do anything. Well, we're getting kind of close. Let's try, let's try 13 times 8 and see what happens. 8 times 3 gives you 24. 8 times 1 gives you 8. Plus the 2 gives you 100. Okay, that's a little much. Let's go down one. Let's try 13 times 7. 7 times 3 gives you 21. Carry the 2. 7 times 1 gives you 7. Plus the 2 gives you 91. Oh, look. Okay, so 13 does go into 91 7 times. Okay, so if I had wanted to, which I do, this is what I would like to do, is I want to cross cancel here. And I said that 13 goes into itself 1 time, and the 13 will go into 91. We just decided over here 7 times. Okay, and this just makes our numbers much nicer and easier to work with after we've multiplied things out. So, and there's no way to cross cancel with the 3 and the 2. The only number that goes into both is 1, and that's not helpful to us. So, we're done with our cross canceling. I'm going to just multiply this out and see where we are. So 7 times 2 gives you 14. 3 times 1 gives you 3. And my last thing is I just want to change this over to a mixed number because we've got it as an improper fraction. So 3 is going to go into 14 4 times with 2 left over. And guys, if you're still struggling to see that, take your 3, take the bottom number, divide it into the top number. 3 goes into 14 4 times. 4 times 3 gives you 12. You would subtract and you get left 2. So 4 whole times, 2 out of 3 left over. So this would be how wide the frame needs to be. I'll go ahead and write it up in here. 4 2/3. Okay. Okay, we're going to do one more. And then we'll be done, okay? The area of a rectangular mirror is 11 11/16 square feet. The width of the mirror is 2 3/4 feet tall. If there's a 5-foot tall space on the wall to hang the mirror, will it fit? And explain. Okay, so we're trying to see, let's think about this. We have, let's pretend this is our wall. We're just going to look at a wall, okay? Make sure that we're thinking through this whole thing. That's your wall. Maybe you've got like a dresser over here, and maybe you've got a, I don't know, a closet, and maybe a bookshelf over here with some shelves, and really, and maybe a picture up here. We got a picture, but we want to put a mirror. So our mirror, we've only got 5 feet right here. Say that's 5 feet. I know that's not drawn to scale, but say that's 5 feet, and we want to know if our mirror is going to fit here. Well, our mirror, we know our mirror is 2 3/4 feet wide. We know the area is 11 11/16 square feet, but we don't know about the length of this mirror. So if we can find the length of this mirror, we can decide if it's going to fit in this space. We want it to be 5 feet. At least we want it to be less than 5 feet, just to make sure that it'll fit. So 5 feet or less is what we're looking for in order to let this mirror fit on the wall where we have room for it. So let's work this problem out just like the others. If we've given an area and we're given a width, let's try to find this length. So I've got 11 11/16, and I want to divide this by 2 3/4. And again, guys, our first step is to change these mixed numbers over to improper fractions. So I'm going to do 11 times 16, and I don't know that off the top of my head. I know that, and this is just the way my brain works, do it kind of quickly, so I don't have to do it on paper, but we can do it on paper too. We know that 16 times 10 would be 160. So 16 times 11 is just going to be 16 more, so 160 plus 16 would give you 176. Then we would want to add 11 to it, would give you 187. So that's just how I work it out in my brain. You do not have to do that. You can sit here and you can go through 11 times 16. 6 times 1 gives me 6. 6 times 1 gives me 6. 1 times 1 gives me 1. 1 times 1 gives me 1. 6, 7, 1. And then go over here and add 176 plus 11. 6 plus 1 gives me 7. 7 plus 1 gives me 8. 1 plus nothing gives me 1. So I got the same thing. 187 for my numerator. My denominator stays the same. So you can work it out in your head, or you can just work it out on the page. It does not matter to me either way, as long as it's correct. So I want to take this and I want to divide it by the improper fraction of this. So 4 times 2 gives you 8, plus 3 gives you 11 over 4. And let's see here. We're going to now do our multiplying by the reciprocal. We're going to take 187 over 16, multiply this by 4 over 11. Again, we're going to try to cross cancel here. The 4 and the 16 are not too difficult. We know 4 goes into itself 1 time. 4 goes into 16 4 times. Not too bad. Now let's think about this 11 and 187. Again, think about factors. Think about factors of 11. Okay, it's our smaller number. Sometimes it's easier to think of that one. Factors of 11 are just 1 and 11. There's nothing else. So unless we were able to come up with 187 can be divided by 11 or something to that effect, then we are not going to be able to cross cancel. So let's just check. Let's see if 11 does go into 187. If it does, we'll be able to cross cancel. If 11 does not go into 187, then we can't. So 187 here. 11 goes into 18 one time. 1 times 11 gives you 11. Let's subtract. 8 minus 1 gives me 7. I'm going to bring down this 7 here. 11 goes into 77 7 times. And so it does look like, it does look like we are able to divide 187 by 11. So I'm going to cross cancel here. 11 goes into 11 one time, and 11 goes into 187 17 times. So now I've got these lovely numbers. I'm going to multiply. 17 times 1 gives me 17. 4 times 1 gives me 4. Again, I have an improper fraction. I want to change this over to a mixed number. 4 goes into 17. And guys, again, you can do this out on your scratch paper. I don't care. 4 goes into 17. 4 goes into 17, what? 4 times. 4 times 4 gives me 16. Subtract, we get 1 left over. So we get 4 whole with 1 out of 4 left over. And you could have done that in your head, or you could have done it on this side, just like I did over here. It does not matter, okay? So if this is how long the mirror is, will it fit in that 5-foot length of space? And, I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's only 4 1/4 feet long, yes, it will fit within a 5-foot tall space. So I'd say yes. And you would want to say, to explain, say, well, the mirror is only 4 1/4 feet long, and that's less than 1/5, or less than 5 feet. So I'm not going to write all that out, but that's what I would expect you to say maybe on a test or something, okay? All right, well, I hope this helps. Good luck. Thanks for watching.